Greetings, hello, welcome on in, guys. Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. Now, I want to talk about, obviously, we've had a lot of time and discussion about 11.1, right? Going to undermine, dealing with goblins, and kind of, also tied in with the void and all that crap. I'm looking forward to it with the new drive system. But I want to talk about back in the day during Dragonflight when we started getting early data mine information about War Within, right? So when we were getting a bunch of data from the War Within, getting all this stuff, there was this weird stuff that we started seeing being announced that, because at that point we knew the first raid was going to be the Palace raid, right? And it was going to be spider related. But we're seeing items being added in for different raids, right? It was they had a name and then at the end was raid. Now we didn't really know if these were true. Again, they could have been misdirections, but it's proven to be so far out of the 3 raids planned for the War Within. We know about 2 of them, right? We've played one of them. We know about the second one. We don't know about the third. Obviously, we knew about Palace because they told us about it, obviously, at the announcement. And in the data mine, they found items being added in called something Goblin Raid, right? There was a couple of things added in for Goblin Raid. So people were assuming that we were getting a Goblin Raid. And guess what? With 11.1 announcement, we are going to undermine, and it is going to be a Goblin-themed raid, right? So that data mine proved to be true. But there was also other data added in with that data mine that alluded to another raid called Ethereal Raid. Okay, so that begs the question, okay, technically we saw Princess inside of the Palace raid, and she's an Ethereal, I believe. Again, you can prove me wrong in the comments, but I think she's Ethereal. Again, I call them Ethereal. I think there's a little bit more pronunciation with that. Again, I suck at pronouncing things. But could we be seeing 11.2 being an Ethereal raid around the world soul or something like that? So obviously we've had this data mine be half true right now. So I wonder if, again, this is a little bit spoilish, but again, we don't know the context of this, right? Again, we only knew it was being Goblin related. We didn't know it was going to be, we could assume that it was going to be undermined, but again, assumptions make us look stupid inside here in this closet. So it makes me wonder, is 11.2 going to be Ethereal, right? Because obviously we all know that the Ethereal's world was consumed by, and they heard the same voice on their planet, right? Because obviously the world soul was crying out, they did nothing, and then their world was corrupted by the void, right? And that's the lore that we know so far. Obviously some minor details left out there. So it makes me wonder, right? It makes me wonder if 11.2 is actually going to be the Ethereal raid. Now, again, we had an Ethereal inside of Palace, so maybe we've already... But, to be fair, though, the Princess fight is kind of confusing, right? The Princess came in, was infiltrated the court, right? And got the... and obviously she had a mission from someone, right? Who's that someone? Maybe we'll find out 11.2. Again, there's a lot of storylines, and I'm also thinking about it too. It's like, where are we going to be going the War Within? I know that we're in a saga right now, and the main storyline isn't going to be resolved in the War Within. But I do want to see some medium things start being closed up, right? Obviously, we have Belladar, right? Like, why is it being corrupted? Obviously, when we go to Midnight, we're not going to be in Hollowfall anymore. I doubt it. I don't think we would stay in a zone that we were, we were hanging out in. But I guess obviously this summer we'll find out more about that, because again, in summer of 2025 we will get the announcement at midnight and some more details of where we're going to be going. Now we kind of know a little bit of where we're going to be going, but obviously all the major details are still missing. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to kind of bring that to your attention, that we had a data mine inside of Dragonflight alluding to a Goblin raid, and now we have a Goblin raid, and then an Ethereal raid. Then again, we had an Ethereal, and we had no Goblins in Palace, but we had an Ethereal inside of Palace, so maybe it was just for the Princess model. But the fact that it was called something raid makes me believe that we might be looking at an Ethereal raid here in 11.2. I want to hear your thoughts, theories, and conspiracies. Again, Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.